Wait,
You forgot. Ah! Camera flipped over. Nice
I
job.
got too excited and then my camera fell over. Okay, we're
That's
fine.
perfect. We're,
And my mic
we're
is still
back.
on.
Yes, we are back. Yeah, good job. We're
We're
all good.
back.
So, you had some mushrooms and chicken. I saw that you cooked. But my big question, because last week, I want to be caught up. Last week, you said that John had bought potatoes.
He did buy potatoes.
Did you learn how to cook them or use them, or how did you do that?
I know how to make potato. I've done potatoes in multiple ways now. I've
Multiple
fried
ways.
potatoes.
Multiple.
I've fried potatoes.
Okay.
I've boiled the potatoes. I've made mashed potatoes.
Okay, what are fried potatoes like? I don't know. I'm not sure what that.
All it is that you just slice up the the potatoes in like quarter slices or whatever. You just fry it regularly on the pan, and then like you add some seasoning and stuff, and then it works as like a nice side.
Okay, you could do that baked
That's how
too.
John at least enjoys it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not super potato
You're
affiliate.
not a Rusert potato.
not a Rusert potato.
Sorry.
I
Well,
am
you
a
are
Rusert,
Rusert, but not a
little
Rusert
potato.
Sorry. This was, yeah. So the AI is going to clip this one because it's going to love this. So, sorry. But so you learn how to make mashed potato and those, and then you can do the same thing but baked. Like you can put like Mari really like this. Would you like barbecue powder? You know, like rub. You know, the rubs for barbecues and stuff. You could do that on the potatoes. Oh, that's not a good thing to say.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm still kind of. I'm just recovering from Rusert potato. My mind's already broken. Okay, sorry. Where were we going?
So artist, how is art related stuff going for you this week?
I got my first client.
Yay! Is it an adult client, a child client, a what kind of client?
It is a child client.
Child client. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, child client. So for some context, so the parent of this child is a coworker of my husband's, and John had already been like talking with like they were friendly enough at work that like she had like visited his office one time, and he of course had some of my drawings and stuff that he had framed in his office, and she's like, wow, these are super impressive, who made these? And he was like, well, at the time, my girlfriend. And then eventually fiance, and then so then eventually so she knew about me to the point where she was like asking me, she was asking him like, oh, does she happen to do lessons? Does she happen to? And John was like, well, let me get you guys in contact. And so a couple weeks ago, I contact her through email, and then she doesn't receive it at first because like they work at a school, and so there's a firewall for emails that go outside of like the company. So then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, why is this lady not responding to me? I thought she was waiting for me. Oh, firewall. So then I ended up forwarding the email to my husband to forward to her, and then she responded, and and basically we just talked through things like, okay, so just this Thursday, I had my free trial lesson with her, which is basically
trial offers.
Yes, I have a trial offer. So it's a free trial where basically for a total of 1 hour, I spend 30 to 40 minutes one-on-one with the child, kind of get to know them, get to know what their interest is in art and what their skill level is in art, see how well they respond to criticism, respond to my instruction, and see where I might need to support them more. Like some kids, like they get like, I know some kids get really like self-conscious when I'm watching them draw. So seeing like just how that is, and then seeing and then also some kids are more encouraged when I'm either watching or drawing with them. So again, seeing that environment and how children respond. So this child, 8-year-old.
8. Okay.
So Yeah, so and she's very soft-spoken, but not shy. She's just a quiet kid, but as mom explained, like, she loves art. All she wants to do is draw, and she specifically only wants to draw animals, and I was like, "Well, well, this is gonna be a challenge." No, and so then in the first, like, 30 to 40 minutes, this is one of my favorite parts of doing like, well, also so I never used to have these free trial lessons, like, I didn't do this, like, with one of my earlier clients before I came here, until I actually started working part-time as an assistant yeah, as an admin assistant at my sister's old taekwondo studio, where what they would do is they would invite parents and their child to come in for a free trial lesson. So they don't no pay, just come in, parents get to know about the program, and then kid gets to actually do the taekwondo, and I was like I was talking to, my upper manager, and I was asking her, like, "Would it be okay if I stole this for my business? Because this is kinda genius," and she was like, "I don't see why not. I mean, you're not doing free taekwondo lessons, you're doing free art lessons." I'm like, "True, true."
But you could do that, like, like, remember Taekwondo? Mari got into Taekwondo because there's a Taekwondo birthday party. You could do, like,
Right.
an art birthday party if you can arrange, like, figure out how to do something like that. Sorry, you were
Which
looking.
I technically have done that before. I have worked at a birthday party, and I don't know if you remember this, one of mom's students, their parents reached out to me because this one of these students went to my arts summer art camp, and she was like, "Hey, I want Miss Emmy to do watercolor paintings of mermaids with me at my mermaid-themed birthday party," and I was like, "Sick!" So, yeah. Anyway, but back to the student. But yeah, the free trial lesson, like, I it's absolutely genius. You learn so much about the student before, because like, versus my previous clients, like, I would just I sometimes I wouldn't know anything prior about them. I was lucky in the way that during my summer art camps, like, these were already students that I knew of through mom because these were her students, or these were all, like, familiar people that, like, I knew something about their family somehow. But when it's completely clean, I'm like, "How do I know these people?" Without just, like and then just going to the first lesson, like, trying to approach things my way when I don't know if the kid's gonna respond well. So this was perfect. And yeah, and like I said, she loves drawing animals. She, again, quiet, not shy, not afraid to try new things, which was great. I gave her the challenge of just picking an object from my studio and drawing it, and she was like, "Okay, bet." Did it. And what was really cool about this student, so she's never had official art lessons. She's never had an official art teacher. She has arts and crafts teachers. She's done stuff at, like, the YMCA near here. Yeah. Nobody in her family knows how to do art, so it's not like she learned any of this from her parents or her
Who's that
siblings or
like?
whatever. I know. That's how I was like, "This is awesome." Loves drawing animals and nobody else in the family knows what's up? Sweet, okay. Which was and the mom was explaining that was why she was excited that, like, that I was gonna start working with her, so, anyway, but I'm sitting there and she's all like, "Oh, I need to make this area darker because that's where the shadow goes," and I'm like, "Really? How do you know that?" And she's like, "Well, everything has a shadow, so I gotta draw the shadow," and I'm like, this 8-year-old's just like, "Yeah, that's just like, whatever. Okay." And then she's like, "Yeah, but then when there's a shadow, then there's a light somewhere." I'm like,
Oh, wow. That's pretty
"Good.
advanced then.
I
I
don't
mean,
have to
or
teach
pretty
you
good.
that." Right?
Yeah.
"Okay, 8-year-old. Cool. Okay." And yeah, but of course, which is really cool that she knows all these advanced, you know,
Concepts,
concepts.
but not how to
However
execute necessarily?
right, yeah. Like, she was sitting there like, "Okay, I press harder." It's like, "No, you don't press
Oh, this is
hard.
the
You
end.
just you layer on top of it." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Okay." So that's kind of now I know how to approach the first lesson of like, okay, you already know how to draw. You already know how to do the sketching. Like, even the way she sketched at, like, she wasn't just like doing like one line that I always see kids do. She was doing like the sketch line, which is do, right? And I was like, "Okay, this kid knows what she's doing." So I'm not gonna start with teaching her how to draw. I'm just gonna start teaching her, "Okay, so you already know what shadows and highlights are. Let me show you how to make them look smoother, make them look more natural." So,
Awesome. And
yes.
how did
So
how did how
art's
did
going
go
great. And then
that's
I finished a bunch of commissions, so we're good.
so how did like talking to her mom, like I think that was part of what you do is like you work with the student for a while and then you talk to the parent. And
Yes,
how did
sorry, I
that
forgot to
conversation
mention
go?
that,
No,
yeah.
that's okay. That's why we're
Yeah.
talking.
So it's kinda sprinkled, like, because, like, the mom's obviously kind of, like, in the room, not necessarily, like, right next to me, but she is, like, at least I allow her to, like, "Okay, like, look at how your child is behaving with me, let me know if there's anything off, let me know if I'm, approaching something wrong, whatever." Or she would just come in and add random context, like, "Oh, yeah, she's watched a couple YouTube videos here and there, but they're, like, kids' YouTube channels, so it's not really anything crazy." Or like, oh, like, once on a camping trip, like, she just sat there with her little, sketch pad and was just asking us, "Mom, Dad, prompt me with things to draw." And they're like, "Okay." So, yeah. But then after the session with the daughter, then she was just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna keep drawing." I'm like, "Cool, I'm gonna talk to your mom." So I talked to mom and I'm like, "Okay, so," and after seeing what I saw, I first complimented her. I was like, "Hey, I mean, I don't know how much credit I can give to you, as you've said, you don't know art as much, but clearly, I mean, you've raised your daughter well enough that she's able to, like, grow have enough passion for this hobby, or this interest that she has, and she's clearly excelling at it, and it's great that you're encouraging her to do this by, just by allowing her to do this, but then also, like, seeking out somebody like me to help her, and that's great." And she was just like, "Yeah, we've been really wanting to find someone for her for a while, because this is getting, like, really serious, like, she does not wanna not draw." I'm like, "Okay." And yeah, but then after that, I was like, "Okay, so, you know, let me just tell you a bit about, myself, so that, and then, kind of, like, give you the floor to ask any questions about, like, if she wants to see more of my work or see some of my students' work or those types of things." But for the most part, I was just like, "Okay, so basically my approach is personable to every student. I don't really have a set curriculum. It all depends on whatever the level the student is at." Clearly, Chloe is at a very high advanced level for an 8-year-old. So then I explained exactly what I just said to you, which was, yeah, I'm not here to teach her the basics of drawing. She's already got that. I'm gonna teach her the techniques to make her drawings look smoother and more natural, if that is what she is going for. Again, I'm also going to, be bringing other supplies for her to play with, so that, like, she can explore things like color, different textures, what have you, and see what she can just create out of that. So I explained to her, like, while obviously a good portion of the lessons be me teaching her, a lot of it will be, but there's a good chunk of it that'll be her teaching me on how I can best serve her and help her, and provide the right creative space for her to make the art that she wants to make. So, and the mom was just like, "This is awesome. Yes. Okay. So where do I sign?" I was like, "Oh, I'm not like business here." And she was just like, "Okay, so how much?" I'm like, "Okay, well, okay." So then I'm like, "Okay, so we can do either by the hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. That's my benchmark. And then based on that, it'll either be 50, 60, 70. And then if you would like to have her come here, then there won't be a driving fee. But if you would like me to come
Oh.
over to your house, if that makes it easier for your schedule, considering, because they're actually 20 minutes away from here,
Mm.
and she works at, the school that John works at, which is 5 minutes away from here. So if she was to go and pick up her daughter, she would be driving from work 20 minutes over there and then back 20 minutes over
Mm.
here. And I was like, "Oh, if trust me, if it makes it easier, I'm more than happy to drive over there and do this. Just there would be, like, an additional driving fee."
Wow, you
And she
got it.
was like, "Oh, that's perfect. Yes."
Oh, you got
So,
good job. You got a lots of stuff thought through. That's really
oh
uh,
yeah, I was like, "Yes."
I think well, that obviously the taekwondo being an admin there has helped you think through sales and other stuff, it
So
was
much, yeah. It's been great, yeah, yeah.
so and then the other thing I have is how has being Mrs. Rusert been? How's that's the other part of artist.
As in, like, what has it been like being married, or what has it been like being John's wife?
More John's wife than marriage. Has it been awesome? Has it been
It's been
interesting,
I
like
mean,
learning and stuff?
we're always we're just constantly learning new things about each other all the time. I mean, like, before we were still learning things about each other, just at a slower pace, considering that we weren't in person all the time, and I couldn't experience all of his Johnisms until now, and wow. Oh, so his recent thing that he's been getting into is, since we got a blender on our registry, he's been experimenting with making smoothies for us,
Oh,
protein smoothies with like Greek or vanilla yogurt. He's like, "Oh, should I get some like vanilla extract?" And I'm like,
got your thing. If it's on sale or whatever, you're like John's looking for his
"Yeah, if it's
deals.
on sale at your Kroger's, if you can find a coupon for that, let's go, sure." I mean, vanilla extract, it's not just like something that you can just get off the shelf, so sure.
Oh no, you get like yeah, there's like you use that for baking a lot, right? Vanilla extracts for baking stuff,
Right,
right?
yeah. I don't, I mean, it depends on the region, though. I don't know how, like, how accessible it is around
Oh, it
here.
is.
I
There,
mean, I
it's easy. Yeah, no.
okay,
It's a
just kidding.
standard thing. It's okay. You're not a
Okay.
shopper, big shopper, so you're learning that.
That
You have to
too.
learn
I don't know.
Kroger's and
I
stuff
don't
too.
know things. I'm learning.
Yes,
I'm
because you've
learning.
been at mom and dad's house for forever, and that's okay.
Yeah, and you guys went to get all the
We always got
groceries, and I was
everything.
like, "Oh, okay, they're just here.
They pop
Cool."
up. Here they are. Awesome. That's okay. I'm so happy that it's like easing into like, well, you have someone to learn all this stuff with, or he can show you this stuff that because he's been well, he hasn't been shopping that much. I mean, he gets his frozen dinners and not a whole lot of stuff. He's learning the lay
And
of
even
the
when he does,
land
he's
too.
like, when he gets meat, he doesn't, like, cook it, he air fries it.
So
Dad, he uses this air fryer like it's his oxygen,
So how was
and I'm
you
like,
made the chicken and mushroom? What style of chicken and mushroom? Like, you see? How did you see? I'm just interested in how you're cooking because you're very used to Hello Fresh cooking because it gives you all the ingredients, right?
right.
So how
Right, but through HelloFresh, like, while I was, I got, like, meals that were based off of recipes, and
yeah,
I was good at, like, following
yeah,
instructions and things like that. What I would often do is I would order the same recipes that, like, we would enjoy,
uh-huh,
but then I would try to do them without the instructions
okay.
and see how.
But they do provide you the ingredients though, like beyond the
Yeah,
meat
they
and stuff.
do.
So then you have to make sure you have those, or have you been learning to get the seasonings and other things that go into the
So
recipes?
what's been nice about, like, the seasoning wise is, like, I mean, John brought a bunch of seasoning from his
Okay.
apartment, which are all already seasonings that, like, I would typically use in cooking. We had to get a couple of things, but, like, nothing too crazy. Yeah.
And then you've been using your
Something that I've been
marinara? Sorry.
Dude, the one time he got, like, at Kroger, like, 5, 6, like, jars of marinara sauce, and then, like, and it was, like, months ago, and I was just like, "Are you gonna use these?" Like, "No, I'm waiting for you." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." I'm like, "Okay, so we're gonna get a bunch of pasta. Alright, for sure. Cool."
Awesome.
But I actually recently made chicken parm.
Oh, good job. How did that go?
I'm good at
How did it go?
I'm gonna dude, I'm gaining more
Oh,
confidence in
good.
myself. Like, I really I set myself up low. I was like, "All right, well, I'm going to look on Google just in case, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing," and I did.
Good job.
And it turned out great, and John was very happy.
Oh,
So, yay.
that makes me smile. Makes my heart warm as a father and with his daughter being like taking care of her husband kind of stuff.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes, yes.
Good job.
Yeah, and we were on a call recently with John's parents
Uh-huh.
because they were celebrating their 42nd anniversary.
They win.
Whoa! Ye
Wow. That's
Yeah,
a big number.
they got it. And so we were talking to them, and they were and then, okay, this is what I wanted to talk about on the pod. Oh my god, this was great because my mother-in-law, I love how she's, like, so on my side through all of this. She's like she's just like she's like, after I got married after we officially got married, she was like, "Oh gosh, Emmy, I do pray that, obviously I know you're gonna take care of John, but please, please let me know if you need anything." And I was like, "What do you mean, girl? I'm fine. I and John's great." And she's like, "Yeah, but he's a Russer." And I'm like, because she's not a Rusert
Oh, that's
either.
true,
She
that's true.
was a Schroeder. So she's all like, "See, when you marry a Russer man, when you marry a Russer man," like, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here?"
That's awesome.
Which oh, it's so funny. She like, we were on this call, and she was just like and she was like, "Oh, so you've been using the blender, huh? Oh, that's great, that's great, okay. Oh, John's been using the blender. What?" It's like,
So have you been getting good your your macros, your nutrients from the blenders? Have you been drinking the smoothies too? Have you gotten
"Oh,
because
yeah, 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 yeah,
we one of the
yeah.
things we always worried about you at home was like your eating and stuff. But we always noticed when you're with John, you eat better. So I'm just wondering, we're just always
Yeah,
wondering if
so,
you're how you're doing.
so something I still do struggle with is eating
Yes.
breakfast just because my stomach does act up and I just don't want to eat as
Yeah.
much, but he's specifically just been giving me smoothies,
Oh, and you
and
can
and
go
that's
through.
that's been a great way to just start because 'cause I'm
Oh,
like, I'm not
good.
eating anything, I'm just drinking something, but it's still got some of the nutrients that I
And then
need to, like,
textures. I know
not
you
feel
have textures
disgusting.
things that are issues
Yes.
with you, so but yeah,
Correct.
that's awesome, dear. No, that's a really good way to
Yeah.
ease into the yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, back to my mother-in-law. She was just like she's like, "Wow, but okay, John's been using the blender. You're for shakes?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, I don't know why she's so worried about her son, who's like almost 10 years older than me. Like, she's like, "Oh, so you guys are using the nice plates now?" And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, because the ones from John's place were chipped and stuff like that, right?
they
He's
were
like, "Ooh."
chipped, they were from college, so they didn't care what happened to them. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I love how she's still, like, as she's kind of being critical of John, she's also being, like, weirdly protective of me. She's just like, "I understand because 'cause I'm not a I also married into the Russert family, and it's a lot." And I'm like, "What's going on?" Oh, she was also killing me because she was like, you guys have been getting pizza, frozen pizzas? Frozen pizzas. Okay. Well, have you been cleaning out the bottom of the oven?" And then and then John and Pastor, they both have a moment and they're just like, "Ah, well, the oven gets hot enough that, whatever crust is in there just burns up anyway." And then Lori gives me this look of like,
No, you would.
"You washed the oven, right?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And she's just like, "Thank God he has you." It's just like those little things. Uh,
Oh, you know one thing you should do? One easy thing to make it easier on you? You could put foil on the bottom, aluminum foil on the bottom of the I
that's
don't know if you
true.
guys do that, but we do that,
We
and then it's
we
easy to swap the aluminum foil. Because for
ah,
me, the lasagna that I make always bubbles over and like and so the sauce goes down, but then I have the foil on the bottom. So look at next time you clean
yeah,
out the bottom, clean it out and then maybe put a layer of foil and see if that how that works for you. Just
yes.
a I don't know if everyone does that, but that's like very Japanese American because I know my
Uh,
parents did it. I know Mrs. Takata does it. So I don't know who else
yeah,
does it, but it somewhere that came along.
maybe that's a Yamabe thing.
No, Takatas did it too. So
Oh, well
that's why I'm saying
then.
maybe it's Japanese American, but
Alright,
I don't
well,
know.
there you go. Okay.
No idea.
I will consider that. I will consider bringing my Japanese American heritage into
Well,
our
you know what you also need? You need the little knit cap for the toilet paper because that's very Japanese American. That like every Japanese American person has. Oh, we have
Oh,
to go find
dude.
one. We'll have to bring it out to you. We'll have to find one because that's like it's like I grew up with
No,
that.
Botchan will make one and then
Yes.
she'll ship it out to me.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. I will. She will.
I can't. This energy on this pod is insane
Oh
today.
my
What's going on?
gosh, it's out of control. It's just the artist's
Uh,
artist life is good. That's what I
artist
get
life
from
is
it.
good. Oh, so my brother-in-law, whoa, my
Brother-in-law.
brother-in-law, Tim, he reached out and he asked me to do a commission for his wife, Carla, who, last year in September, her father passed away, and so then he asked me to do, a very sweet drawing for her, and then I gave him the price, he sent it over, plus a very generous tip,
Mm,
so,
nice.
yay. So, I also have my in-laws as customers. And then my oldest sister-in-law, Kristen, is also commissioning me for a Christmas present for her youngest son. 'Cause her oldest has this, like, his, confirmation
Mm,
verse as, like, some sort of poster in his room, but since the youngest just recent was the one who most recently got confirmed and I was there, he doesn't have that yet, and she was like, "Oh, well, now that we have an artist in the family, I might as well ask her." So, yeah.
awesome. Very
Yes,
cool.
so
Very
art
cool.
art art life is good, wife life is good. Yeah. Oh. Oh, this was the other thing I was gonna tell
Oh,
you about. Okay, so, house.
house. Okay.
We had a mouse,
Oh, you had a mouse in the house. Oh, how did
and
Belle what did Belle do? You
Dad,
what?
we only knew that we had a mouse because Belle came up to us and had a tail hanging out, and we were like, "Oh." And I was like, "John, where did she find that? Did she get outside?" And he's like, "No, there's no way she could have gotten outside. We don't have, like, a doggy door or something." And I'm like, "Oh, is there a mouse in the house? What's going on?" And then she proudly she sets it down and we're like, "Ew, ew, ew, get it out." And then she proudly looks at us and she's like, "Meow, meow." Like, she is literally trying to talk to us. She's like, "Guys, guys, look, I'll show you where I found it." She walks over to the cupboard, she starts scratching on it, and I'm like, "No fucking way." And and so this is where, like, underneath the sink where, like, our extra garbage is, and there is a hole.
Oh.
There was a hole, and there were a bunch of mice droppings around it, and I was like,
Oh.
"Oh my gosh." And so somehow, I don't know how Belle did this, but apparently she got into, like, that cupboard, and she caught and killed the mouse for us.
Wow. Okay, well, you have her. I don't know that's a
But
good thing
yeah,
that there's a mouse thingy.
but John found, like, a piece of wood, and he, sealed up the
Oh, okay.
hole, and then we disinfected that entire area, so
Okay, good job. How's it
but,
cleaning and shopping Sundays going? Is it still going good?
it's always it's I mean, it's been so far 2 weeks of it, tomorrow will be our 3rd, but I mean, I haven't had a problem with any of it, it's been going really smoothly. We always make a big fat grocery list with, like and we meal plan beforehand, so it's not like we're going in blind. And then, of course, he has all of his Kroger's coupons and deals and
Oh, good.
stuff, so sometimes we'll just get random giant amounts of things, and I'm like, "Sure, okay, sure." I'm like, "Okay, we got 4 dozen cans of soda, awesome,
The
okay."
only thing to be aware of is the mom effect, because your mom likes to get things and then doesn't know when in the week she's going to use them. Then she forgets to use them and then they expire. So
Yeah,
that is a
no,
mom
I
thing.
I don't think I've really had that much of
Okay.
that problem. Because originally I was thinking, like, because I use green onions or scallions a lot
Mhm.
in my cooking, and I just like adding it to
Whatever.
things.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, "Oh, so I should get, 2 bunches of those every week." And then I was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna realistically, I'm not gonna get through that much. So I'm gonna just do 1 a week, and then whatever's left over will die or whatever, and then I'll have the next one by next week, and it'll be fine." So
Okay. That's good. Sounds good.
I'm good on that. Anyway, how about you, dude? How's tech,
Oh.
work,
Oh, I found so tech-wise, I'm still exploring things for this, like this software that we're using to record. I'm learning
This
about things. I tried this other service to like remove our ums and ahs and stuff like that. And I ran it through and it was terrible because it would cut off words in the like that were actual words and not filler words. So then it was a service that I was trying, and I was like, "Oh, no, never mind. I'm canceling that service because it didn't work at all." So I'm better at manually editing that stuff. Like I can go through it pretty fast and manually edit. So I'm this recording stuff is good because it actually has built in the camera switching. So like when someone's talking, it shows the other person, or sometimes it shows us top and bottom and stuff like that. But it handle this particular the recording software itself handles the camera switching. So I'm happy with that. And then I will do the editing of bleeping out your swear word that you had in there.
Oops.
And then I will, and also I take out as many ums and ahs and stuff like that. I noticed that you say and I say
Yes.
like way too much. Only sometimes, and then a bunch of times. But like for me is like this really bad. So it's really interesting for me to listen to my recordings and say, oh, I need to stop saying those filler words, and it's really
Yeah.
fascinating. But in general, this is really cool. And then I found that service that does the clipping for reels. I sent you a couple. I showed you a couple like yesterday. They were pretty
Yep.
good, right?
They were pretty
It
solid.
was pretty solid. And so I'm going to subscribe to that one probably and start making shorts and reels. I feel awkward posting them, but they look really fun and cool. I mean, they're
We
really
draw
funny.
conclusions. Yeah, oh yeah, they're oh my
They were
gosh.
pretty hilarious. So I gotta post
I
it.
I completely forgot about the part when, like, last episode we were talking about the CEO thing, and I was talking about, like, the guy being an actual
Yeah.
CEO, and, like, yeah, people depend on you to, like, make smart on the spot decisions. On the spot, you did that. I was like, "Dang, that was a good line from
Yes.
me."
Yeah. No, it found really good, and it has a social media score. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't know.
sweet. We got a score. We're gonna go viral.
So yeah, I'm finding really interesting software to use, and like I said, the other one is I'm going to do this after we record is to find the thumbnail one. That's the last thing I got to do is find a thumbnail generator. That's yeah. That's the tech stuff. Work. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about work because I work
Um,
enough. But tech stuff
yeah,
in
no.
general, like that. See, I said like, but tech stuff in general, I'm having fun with this stuff. I am like the pastor guys that I work with to edit their podcasts. They've been off the whole August month because they've been busy traveling around the
Uh-huh.
country. So I haven't been busy with that. So I've been able to focus on this, and I'm playing with the toys and experimenting with the toys. Oh, I got one more toy. I didn't tell mom yet, but
Oh.
but I got a
Oh, no, dad got a
I
toy.
got a toy.
Oh gosh. Why is it huge? What well, I can't see it because you're Oh, is it a Switch?
It's the Switch 2 with Mario Kart World.
Are you entering your gamer era?
Well, I'm you know what? So because my gamer era. Because I try not to play games on my phone because then they're always with me, and then I get I'll play them like without thinking. I'll just pick up my phone and start playing them. This is like a whole different device to play games. So I'm like, okay, I've been on this device for long enough, and then I can put it aside. So I don't get like sit there and just play it forever. I like play it for a little bit. I do a couple of like I try to do some missions or something, and then I go, oh, I'm done, and then I just put it away. So it's been I like it. It's pretty fun. It's Mario. It's Nintendo. It's back to old school. And then I'll get it when Link comes out. I'll get you know
Link.
I'll get
Yeah.
a Link game. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, just something I treated myself to, and so because I was home by myself all week last week. So I'm like, ah.
Right, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned the Switch too because John was asking me if for his Christmas/birthday present he could get a Switch too, and I was like, "Well, why not?" Sure, you know? I mean,
You can play your
I
Goose Game
like
together or whatever.
Exactly, exactly, that's why, yeah. Because that's the point of it, is it's supposed to be, more multiplayer
Mhm.
friendly, and then it's supposed to, like, hold, like, a bunch of storage or something like that, so yay. Yeah, oh, we would okay, so John and I, we actually have been getting into not video games, but there is this oh gosh. Oh, it's this game called Catchphrase.
Oh,
Have you played that
I
before?
think so. It sounds yeah, yeah, I think so. You
Yeah,
kind of
okay,
finish things you, like, finish the sentence of something, right? Or
it's yeah, sort of finish the sentence, but, like, this one, it's like you have to guess the complete
oh,
phrase.
okay.
Like, there's like, the only hint that you get is, basically, the person who's trying to get you to guess what it is, like, can't say any words in the phrase. They have to describe it, and they can't cheat by saying, like, "Oh, it starts with the letter that comes after B," or whatever, it's yeah. And through that game, I mean, first of all, it's just exposed a whole other fun side of John I didn't know was there. He gets so hyped up over, those little things, and it's great. But also, it's truly exposed how our gap, like, he's a millennial and I'm a Gen Z. There are things that I don't know and things that he doesn't know, and it's hilarious.
That's
Like
awesome.
like recent I don't even remember what the phrase was, but he was just like, "Yeah, this is a common saying," and I'm like, "Among millennials, among the Midwest, what are we talking about, dude?" He's like, "No, this is, like, everywhere," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's
Oh,
so
man.
awesome, dear. That is really cool that you guys are doing that together and learning about each other that way. That's a really good. That's.
Yeah. Oh,
Did
man.
you guys? I remember you know that card thing. The remember that card deck of cards that was like questions, like friends and like it, that
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget what that was called, but
Yeah, I don't remember either. Something about, like, getting closer or
yeah.
getting
Did you guys
getting to
do
know
that
each other
already?
better, yeah.
Some of it or before?
Yeah, we did in, like, the early or kind of, like, the earlier stages of
Yeah.
dating. Yeah,
Okay.
just yeah. Like, when he would come and visit me in Santa Clarita, because Santa Clarita was where I mainly kept the cards. I didn't
Yeah.
bring them with me here,
Okay.
but yeah, but there I would, like, run those with him, and it was fun. Yeah. Which I think those since those were more serious
Yeah.
questions, like, it was like, okay, we could just have a normal discussion, whatever. But this when it's just a game and seeing how serious he gets over a game or how intense he gets when he's like, "Ah, this is the thing. No, 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 it's this thing." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, "I went to art school, not smart school. We've talked about this, John. I don't know the words. What do you mean I'm supposed to guess the word ambassador off the top of my head? What are we talking about?" Yeah.
Awesome.
And then he's like, "Who's Kylie Jenner?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then, it's Kim Kardashian, right? Because that
He
was
was Kim
more
Kardashian, but
millennial.
he's like, "Wait, Kylie Jenner is related?" I'm like, "Okay, dude, whatever." Just
Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
Anywho.
All right. Pop culture. So I got options for you.
Oh, it's a multiple
Yeah.
choice,
Well,
that's
you
right.
can do
Okay, I'm
whichever one.
excited.
Okay. So what does it say? Oh, I added the question that said, did you learn what to do with potatoes? Sorry.
Oh.
I couldn't read. I don't have my glasses. I can't read. So, okay. All right.
Rusert
Russet
potatoes.
potato, Mrs. Russet potato. So, okay. Here's the option. The first one is this very pop culture, like of the times. Like, so it's the do you want to talk about the Sydney Sweeney ad?
Oh
Do you know
god.
that one?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
that one.
aware.
Okay. Or there's this or lazy girl jobs, the lazy girl jobs trend. You don't know
I've
this one?
never
Oh,
I haven't seen
okay, okay.
this.
And then or there's there's the right-wing stay-at-home mom controversies going around.
Okay, those last 2, I don't know anything about, so on like, can I choose multiple? I'd like
You
to
could
do
do
the last
Oh,
2.
you want to okay, we can do the last 2. Okay. So, I think you kind of know the lazy girl jobs thing. It's like it's all these girls that have like they don't want to be boss babes anymore. They just want to like have jobs that where they don't have much responsibility, or they don't want to be career focused, but they want I don't know how they expect to make money, except for the influencers will make money by telling people that they don't have to have a job, but they don't want to have a job. So but they want to have money somehow, but and it's the lazy girl jobs thing. Have you heard of that now in that context?
Okay, now that you put more context to it, I feel like I remember this one particular woman on, like, my Instagram feed saying something like, "I wanna be a trad wife, but not." You know what I mean? I was like, "What?"
Yeah. She doesn't want the traditional part, but she doesn't want to do the work part.
Right. Girl.
So, yeah, so that's the like after the boss babe, you're the boss babe and what what was the girl era? What was that one? What,
Ah, soft girl.
what was that?
I think I maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm not as Gen Z as I actually am as people think. No, I don't I why do I feel like that was kind of like like, kind of being like, "Oh, I wanna just, be clean," like, similar
Oh,
to, like, the
that's right.
clean girl
Yes,
thing.
that was yes. I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think
but it
that
was
was
like,
more
"Oh, no,
like
no, no,
that.
I'm dainty, I'm innocent," but, like, no, but I'm not submissive. I'm not
Yes.
submissive,
Yes.
right? Like, I'm not traditional, but now we're going now we're going into, like, okay, I actually want to be a soft girl, but have all this money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The lazy girl job. There was it's just basically the it's how everyone complains about Gen Z having no work ethic, right?
Gosh,
Well,
well, I
that's what
mean, we're seeing it right
yes,
now.
but I mean, it is a difficult time for jobs in general. But the idea that Gen Z doesn't quite understand, at least right now, is that you have to have when you're getting a job, you have to have some skills. And when you're young, you don't really have skills. So the first thing you need to do is to learn skills, and then you build what Gen Xers call career capital, which is a bunch of skills that are valuable to an employer or to somebody that will pay you money, right? You have to have a skill, or else why would anyone pay you any money?
Right, but then Gen Z is also in that mindset of like, "Oh, I'm only gonna do what makes me happy, and I'm only gonna do what I'm interested in, not what other people are
Yes.
interested in," and then that's the problem.
Yes, and that is the lazy girl because they just wanna do what they wanna do, and
Oh, no.
when they wanna do it, that
Oh,
as well,
no.
and so then and everyone's just like, "Okay, that is a really interesting way to think about your life and career and how to earn money, but that's not gonna get you any of those things." So it's
That's
just
not gonna do it, honey, like,
but
get off your butt. Get off of TikTok.
the people that are pitching this are making money. Because they're the ones that are getting they're influencers, right? The whole crappy
Oh
influencers. But they
gosh, I
are
hate it. I
influencers
hate
because
it.
they talk about this stuff and get lots of views, and so then they can make money. But the people who aren't that person or want to be the influencer aren't making like I don't know how they're surviving other than like their parents are paying all their bills or something. That's all. I don't know. But
Yeah.
that is the lazy girls job trend is just them. It was on Dr. Phil, so it's probably actually fairly
Oh, it's on
old.
Dr.
So
Phil.
it's
Oh
probably
gosh, okay.
months, if not quarters,
Yeah.
years old. But it's them. It's just Gen Z women who don't want to work, but want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, but get money
Mhm.
for it somehow, or be able to survive without
Right.
working for an employer, or your Gen Z's word for it is I don't want a corporate job. A corporate
Oh,
job
no.
is like any job is a corporate job. It's like if you work for
Anything,
somebody
yeah.
else, it's a corporate job, and so they just like it just makes it like their understanding of how like jobs and stuff work is really skewed. But but
Yeah, I
you guys
was
did have the problem of COVID. That screwed you guys
right.
up. It really did. I yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But Yeah, like, I was gonna say, like, something that John and I talked about, going into marriage, like, I initially came forward, to him of like, "Okay, obviously, I know we have an age gap, and so with that, you have more experience, you have a more, like, set career path going on. Mine's essentially just starting, and, I don't like and, like, I understand that, like, you're in the space to financially, like, take care of us both, which is great. But, I want you to know that, like, if I need to pick up any slack, I will do it. I will go and get a job somehow, some way to, like, pay the bills if we need that, no matter what. And but he looked at me and he was just like, "Okay, I understand. I appreciate that. I'm good. I'm gonna figure out what I need to do to take care of us. You don't worry. You keep working on your art and like all these things." And so when I see like things like the soft girl alert, I can see how someone looking at my life, which is I'm married and my husband is completely taking care of me. I provide some, but not like as nearly as much as like he is to the table. And it's like, "Oh, I'm just doing whatever I want." And I'm like, "Well, if I really did whatever I want, I would be drawing, but it wouldn't be for other people. It would be for myself, or it would just be for our house or whatever." Yeah, so seeing that trend, yes, honestly, seeing that trend just like I mean, yeah, it does make me mad on behalf of, like, society and, like, just people who have very little self-respect and also just, like, self-awareness. Like, it's upsetting, but then I think about, like, myself and I almost fall into the trap of, like, "Oh gosh, am I a soft girl?" No, because I do want to work, and I do want to I'm providing for me and my husband and our family, and, like, like, if I have to go and get a job and, like, build up skills or whatever, like, I will do that, so
But you are trying to build up your business as far as like, bringing up a
yeah.
student, having a student base and figuring out how, like you can try to do your art camps during the summer, next summer, that kind of thing. Though who knows, all
Yep.
that kind of stuff. So you can figure that out. But but that actually kind of dovetails with the right wing stay at home mom thing. Okay.
Right wing, let's
So
go!
yeah. So you in like what John wants to do and what I wanted to do for mom is to give you the option. I wanted to give like I had a different view of this and it's evolved. But like at the time when we were married, it's like mom was working, wanted to work, and my whole goal was like to give her the option when we were having kids to to be able to to be able to stay at home if she wanted to stay at home. That it was, that was our thought process. If I had thought more, I mean, looking back on it, I would have been like, well, I think you really should stay at home. But at the time, I was of the mind that was like, oh, it's her choice, right? She wanted to stay at home with you, which was probably a good thing that I have mom that wanted to do that because
Yeah.
like that's the right way for it to work, for it to be, is for mom to be home with you guys. Because what I really, it's like difficult to, when like for people who don't have to work, if they have the option, because there's plenty of people that in my field that 6 weeks later or even 3 months later they go, they put their kids in childcare and the mother goes back to work, and I'm like, wow, that wouldn't have not been good for you or for our family. Both of you and your sister would, or our family would not have been good. That having someone else raise you, basically, because they are raising you. They're with the other, with the caregivers more than you guys, you mean more than the parents,
Right.
right? So, but so that is the that is like a fairly healthy way of thinking about stay at home moms, right?
Right.
So, and I got into this short discussion with somebody about their idea is now like really women should not, and there's this line that I wanted to discuss with you. It's they don't think their girls should go to college. They should only learn how to be stay-at-home moms, and like they won't leave the house until they're going to be off to married. Now that's based almost what you did. Like you were under our roof until you got married, and you were going to be at home until you got married. That would have been my preference. But there, it's so like, oh no, you're part of our family until you have your own family to go to, and you're supposed to be in the family and not trying to figure out things outside of the family. It's a little bit extreme in my mind. So how do like what is your reaction to that? I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, first of all, again, kind of like paralleling that on my life, it's like, yeah, I did stay at home with you guys, but by the time like John and I had gotten engaged, it just made sense financially for me to do that too. Even before like I had been like thinking about like moving out and like trying to live on my own in an apartment somewhere or figuring that out. But then like with John and then just like with and also just, like, wanting to spend time with you guys because I knew even before the proposal that, like, John and I were gonna end up at some point. I was gonna end up moving to Fort Wayne and, like, all these things. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll stay back here." But I didn't wanna compl I didn't just wanna sit there and do nothing or whatever. So it was like and, like, you especially, you would always encourage me to try new things to, like, boost, like, my success with, like, my career and my business, and I would still and yeah, like, while I was, like, quite demotivated for some time, like, I would still make efforts to do so while I was there, and it wasn't like like, yeah, you guys, in ways, like, taught me how to what it meant to be a good wife, like, what it meant to be married and, like, the commitment that you make to that, but you didn't make that, like, my whole life's purpose, like, it never felt like, "Oh, okay, I have to" like, and that's the extreme
Yeah,
that we're talking about
that
here,
is
that it's
kind.
like, that's
Yeah,
unhealthy. No,
that's
you can't, like, make someone think, like, your only purpose, that is your only purpose.
Yeah,
That's just rude.
I think that is where it in my like yeah, that is what where I see the danger. That
Yeah,
is what I was when the person I was interacting with was saying that yeah, our kids when our daughters when they grow up, they're just going to stay and learn how to be, homemakers from their mom, and I'm like, so I understand that, but what if they don't, like what if they don't get married? That's I mean, that's a possibility. And so I don't want to say they're not productive, but like, I guess if you have a home business or something that kind of makes sense. Like if you're going to build them a home economy out of out of your family, that makes more sense. But you know, I also am more of the mind. I would, I don't want, I wouldn't want to set it up so that you moved away your career options worked, and we used to think about this, right? I used to like I think I've changed my mind a lot about things. Like I was going to say you should go off and go to art therapy school and go across the country to go to art therapy school and like figure out your career somewhere else. And then but like my whole mind has changed around that due to other circumstances and stuff I've listened to. But like you like just sending you off to be, especially girls, but boys too, like sending them off away from their families to just go figure things out is not like a really healthy way to do it. It's what we've done. It's what we've told people for the last 40 years is that, go wherever your career takes you, right? Go wherever the money is, wherever you're going to make a big mark and make money, stuff like that. And really that's messed up families. And that is my big, that's that aspect of it, and not really thinking that through is like, why is our church so small? When they sent their kids away, or the kids that they had, they didn't tell them that they should be going to church. It's all like around everything, all the ills that we talk about are always revolved around something that the family did not really think through. Right. And I didn't think through all of it until recently, but it was recent enough that I could not prevent, but like guide our family to a way that I'm happy with. Right.
yeah,
If you were a couple years older, I think I would have said, "Oh, you should be going to art therapy school and go." Remember, there was one in like St. Louis or something, and I was like, I would have just sent you off to do that, and not really thought it through that you would be out there without a family and all that. Like I just really like. and feel blessed that you were not old. We could figure out early enough that you are in a good spot. And your sister, we're sending her to Irvine, but we're all, her. We have family right next to her. My brother's right there.
Yeah.
Grandpa's, Papa's right there. We're gonna go visit her all the time. The expectation is that we're going to always be around her. And so, it's not sending her off to like figure things out. That's the way it was when I was growing up. Is like go figure it out and find where you're going to make a good career and money. But I'm like I said, my goal now is to like give you a stable foundation and figure out how our family can work together and have a strong family. And everything else we
Right.
can figure out around that.
Yeah. And then like by you teaching us that, now it's like, okay, well now I can focus on my family here and I can focus on like what's going to be best for my family here too. And like our unit. But then also including like his parents, my parents and like all that,
Yeah.
right? I also had a comment about like what we were talking about earlier with like the unhealthy mindset that would be created, you know, preparing a woman for marriage by making that her entire,
Hmm.
like, life's thing. Like, not only does that put so much pressure on her, but it also in her mind, will put so much pressure on the idea of marriage and
Oh.
the idea of committing to that marriage, and therefore, I feel like I maybe this is just coming from like, how I know I am and how anxious I can be and how like in the past, like whenever I've become anxious about something not working once I've committed to it, I've in that way kind of sabotaged it because I've like freaked out about it too much and then like I've blown something up by just freaking out about it. Like, that won't set her up for and then also just the mindset going into that marriage. It's like, I'm here because I was made to do this, and so if something goes wrong in it, then it was my fault. It was my fault, and then unfortunately, like, let's say it could be like an actually really unhealthy, like, toxic, perhaps in the worst way, like, abusive marriage on the man's part. That woman's not gonna think, "Oh, I should get out of this." She all she knows is that she was made for marriage, and if this is her picture of marriage, her only picture of marriage, then that's what she's gonna stick with, and she's like, "Okay, I was made for this." And she's not gonna know what to do with that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's the same, you know, with when we talk and I did lots of likes, but the same when we talk about children as well. That it's not we you can desire it and be set up and prepare for it as much as you can, but your whole self-worth is not built around marriage and having children. They are a
Mhm.
blessing if God puts them into your life and you accept all the blessings that that He wants to give you. But you can't control that either. And putting all of your self worth into either of those things, or both of those things, is detrimental, like you just said, to your mental health and your perspective on those things.
Yep.
So
And your perspective will in that way also then in turn affect your mental
yeah,
health. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So I like I said, the conversations or the discussion I had around it was very weird. And it
Uncomfortable.
made, I mean, I could see what they were trying to get to, which is don't focus
Sure.
on careers, focus on family and, and those kind of things. But,
Right, but not
the
like
way
that.
in, like, there's got to be a healthy medium and and
A
some knowledge of
balance.
of the child as well. Right.
Right.
Because maybe that does work for one of the children or a child. I don't know if the majority of
Sure.
the children it will work for, but there are some children that will work for. And maybe if you grew up that way, guided that way, but like you said, there's still so much pressure put on that, like that vision of what your life is supposed to be. Oh no, we're not going to send
Yeah.
you're not going to have a career. And that's another thing in our circles, the LCMS church circles, there's this real big emphasis on denigrating career women. And that was the other thing. The other right wing thing is all the right wing talk show host ladies that are all like, you should be traditional wives, but no, but they don't have to be. And so
No, yeah, no, it can't see, that's like that's actually something that John and I were just talking about. It's so difficult to have black and white,
Yeah.
like, stances on this. There's too many nuances. Like, you can't just say no woman should have a career, then we wouldn't have
Yeah.
nurses. Then we wouldn't have, like, like, here we go, so many jobs that women are more fit to have than
Yes.
men.
But the problem becomes the the focus on the career. I think what it is is if you have children, if you are fortunate to have children, your highest calling is to be their mother. Putting
Yeah.
your career above the children, or not, delaying children for your career, all those things where you put your career above anything, that any gift that God gives you, wants to give you, that is where I see it as problematic. But if having a career and is not, I don't think it's a wrong, it's just it has to have its proper ordering and placement in life.
Yes.
And
You can have a career and you can have a family, but you always need to have the family as your first
yeah.
priority.
And like, yeah, it's really, and it's like you said, there's nuance, but there, like, in, I guess this is just a fact of internet and social media, is no nuance. You can't have nuance because nobody wants to, like, there's no engagement with nuance. But if
Oh,
you,
well,
the
yeah,
only way you
right,
get
yeah.
engagement is if you have a black and white,
By
stance.
having the most
Yes,
extreme
yes,
takes.
it must be a divisive take, because that's the only thing that people, like,
Yes.
either will cheer you for, or be, rage bet, rage interact with you, right? And that's, you either want rage
Yeah.
or likes. Anything in between is like
Yep.
thoughtful consideration of your argument is not is not what happens on the internet.
No.
So I don't know what people will probably yell at us for, whatever kind of thing, whatever. I'll be interesting to see what the AI clips from this segment.
Oh, dude. I mean, Rusert potato. I think that's what we should just call this episode
We
and
got some.
just put it
Oh,
out
we could.
there.
The thumbnail could be you as a potato.
Oh my gosh, me
Mrs.
as Mrs.
Potato. Yes.
Potato, but, like, with, like, a name tag that says, "I'm a Russert potato." Yes, great, there we go. AI, do your thing.
Um. Yeah. So I think we are very fortunate that, and lots of, I feel like lots of my life has worked out well. I have no other way to say it. Is
Yes,
it's I've been, God has blessed us tremendously in setting things up, that, and things have worked out in a healthy way for all of us. It's not that we haven't tried, but, like, circumstances have also fell in our favor.
oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, give credit where credit's due, but I mean, yeah, like, there's I mean, God blessed me with
Yes.
John. He came out of
Yes.
nowhere at a singles event.
Yeah. That's like, and then not having
Which you which you did encourage me to go to, and I finally bit the bullet. I was like, "Okay, so yeah, hey, circumstances did give us a singles event, but there's a world where I could not have gone and could
yeah.
not have met John."
Yeah, but
So,
the thing also is that if you had, if you hadn't met him there, then, 2 years later you might have been off on your career, and not, and so who knows what, we would have sent you off to, and stuff, all these kind of weird things that, like, luckily we don't have to contend with. But yeah, yeah.
no. And now I have a wonderful Russert potato husband, and I have a mouse killing cat.
That is so awesome.
And an awesome dad that I get to do a podcast on weekends
Yes.
with. And mom, I either call her, she calls me, and there's some set of tears, whether it's happy or sad.
That is what mom does. Mom does that well.
And then mushy and stormy
Yeah,
peeing.
that is a yeah, that is what they do now at this point when they're old age.
Oh, no. It's their whole personality now, unfortunately.
All right, dear. I am so glad that we got to do this again, and
Me
we'll we'll,
too.
we'll keep going. I makes me happy that you're so happy.
And you seem
Yeah,
happy.
because I get to do this. This is the definitely the highlight of my week, so.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, dear. I love you a lot. Okay.
I love you a
Alright.
lot,
Thank
Dad.
you.
Thank you.